What's up my peeps, time for a new episode of WWE Mayhem, and in today's episode, I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys my list of the top 5 superstars in the game. So recently in the comment section, also on Twitter, I've been getting people, posting up, hey, who's the best superstar? Is this superstar really good? Or giving a list of a couple different superstars and being like, hey, between these superstars, who's the best one? And that kind of gave me the idea to go ahead and do another top list type of video. I've done something like this before. I think it was called WWE Mayhem, the top superstars, or something along those lines, but that video was about the top superstars in every single class. This list though isn't based or separated by any class. It's just the top 5 superstars overall, regardless of the class. Now I've come up with this list based on things such as strike type, health, power, usability, also in some cases moves, but there's also a bit of preference in there or opinion, so my list is exactly that. It's my list and it might be different from your list. Although I'm pretty sure some of these superstars will also show up in a bunch of other people's lists because these are really good superstars in the game. And actually in the comment section, let me know your top 5 list. Now before I get to the list, I want to just go ahead and bring up the Mayhem event that's going on right now. Thankfully, we've got some 4-star keys in there. I wasn't too sure if we were going to get 4-star keys this time around, but we are. That's one thing about the Mayhem event. It seems to be like the one event that you can count on to have some solid rewards. So glad that we're getting 4-star keys out of it, and also a good amount of rank up keys. Definitely going to go ahead and fully complete that event. Now that aside, just one last thing. Yesterday when I was recording the episode and I was playing as Chad Gable against Brock Lesnar. Actually, we played 2 matches with Chad Gable against Brock Lesnar. In the first match we had against Brock, I went for the counter roll. And if you go ahead and pause the video at the right moment when he's going for that move, you'll see this right here. Which I thought was funny, so I shared it on Twitter and also Facebook. People seem to enjoy it, so I thought I'd share it here too. But anyways, let me get started with this list already, and at number 5, to kick this off, it's going to be the big dog, Roman Reigns. So Reigns actually makes the list for a couple of reasons. Number 1, he's just a solid powerhouse. And for a long time, he's been a solid powerhouse. Despite the new additions, despite the new characters being added in, he's still a good powerhouse superstar, just superstar overall. And he's got a good amount of health and a good amount of power. He's not the strongest in either of those, but he's one of the very few powerhouses in the game with the quick strikes. And actually, before the 3-star powerhouse Taker came in, he was the only powerhouse with the quick strikes, but then eventually we got 4-star Roman Reigns added to the game. Initially, we didn't have a 4-star Roman Reigns. He only went up the 3-star and that was it. So when we got a 4-star version of him and he still had the quick strikes, he still had some good stats, this was a win-win situation. Reigns is just a solid powerhouse, and when you're going into an event, you don't have to sacrifice power for speed because he's still got the quick strikes. And for a long period of time, he was, in my opinion, the top powerhouse. Maybe not purely stats-wise, because there are some superstars that top him in power or health, or even both, but because Roman Reigns still had a good amount of power while having the quick strikes, that made up for any possible power advantages that some other superstars may have. Now before I get to number 4, I will say this, 5 and 4, extremely close. Both are really good. Anybody in this list is really good, but 5 and 4 were extremely close. It was a tough one, but at the end I was like, nah, this superstar tops him by just a little bit, and here's why. So who's at number 4? Stone Cold Steve Austin. Now, the reason why I put Austin above Roman Reigns, keep in mind, both of them have the exact same amount of health and the exact same amount of power. Both of them also have the quick strikes. Overall, ratings-wise, Austin beats Roman just by a tiny little bit, and then when it comes to the 3 other stats, such as critical chance, it's the same for both, comparing 2 of them that are exactly at the same rank and level. Critical damage, that's where the difference is, but it's such a minor difference. The special gain is also the same, by the way, but the critical damage difference between the 2 is just 0.1, with 2 of them at rank number 4 maxed out. Just a 0.1 difference. That's barely anything. So Roman Reigns edges out Austin by 0.1 in critical damage, but here's where, in my opinion, Austin beats Reigns. When it comes to the moveset, because Austin has 2 submission moves. And if you don't know by now, I'm a big fan of submission moves in this game. They're big damage dealers. Assuming you can get, all the arrows right, even if you don't get them all right, they inflict a lot of damage. And on top of that, they're a great way to get an automatic guaranteed win when the opponent's health is low enough. Especially in the title matches where the opponent has a shot at kicking out the first time around, even when he's at no health. The one way you can get out of that and get an automatic win right away with the opponent getting no shot of getting out or kicking out or whatever is a submission hold and making them tap out. And with Austin, he's got 2 submission holds, the Cobra Clutch and also the Boston Crab, while Roman Reigns only has 1. So with Austin, even if you don't get the Cobra Clutch, you could go ahead and try and go for a charge attack and it might just be the Boston Crab and make him submit that way. So for me, because of the moveset, I will give it to Austin, and I will put Austin at number 4, but they're really close. It's really that submission hold that gave the win to Austin for me. Now on to number 3, and this superstar right here maybe wouldn't have made this list, or maybe he would have, but maybe not as high if it wasn't for the Money in the Bank updates and the addition of tag team finishers. Now that I've said that, can you guess who number 3 is? Come on. This superstar is mainly at number 3 because of that update. If you can't guess who it is Randy Orton. So, the thing with Randy is, he's got the same stats as Austin and Roman Reigns. So he's got good power, good health, and also he's got the quick strikes. On top of that, now with the tag team finishers updates, he goes ahead and tags up with anybody perfectly because he can hit a finisher with anybody. Doesn't have to be somebody who's actually tagged up with Randy. Just like Shawn Michaels, he can hit the RKO out of nowhere with any partner. So that's pretty cool. And the great thing about the tag team finishers and why I put Randy high on this list because of it is because the tag finishers take up as much energy as a normal finisher but inflict more damage. And since Randy can tag up with anybody, that pretty much means a stronger finisher as long as you're using Randy in any tag team move, in any tag team match, provided you get the tag team finisher, because there's some matches where you might not get the tag team finisher, instead you get the normal finisher and you just finish the match that way. But yeah, Randy, quick striker, good power, good health, and also compatible with any other superstar for a tag finisher. A pretty cool tag finisher too with Randy posing in the corner. So now on to number 2. And number 2 actually happens to be a big rival of number 3. With that said, can you guess who it is? Yes? No? Either way, it is John Cena. Now, the reason why Cena is so high up in this list is, number 1, just like all the others that I listed so far, he's got the quick strikes, he's got good power, good health. Actually, the exact same amount of health and the exact same amount of power as all the other guys that I've listed so far. But what separates him from the rest and why I put him above Randy is because of usability, because you can actually use him more than the other superstars. Randy's great. It's a great thing that he can go ahead and hit a tag team finisher with anybody. But if you can't use that, well, what's the point? If you can't use Randy in the event in the first place, that's where Cena comes in. As a free agent, I think he's the only superstar actually in the game at the moment who is a free agent. You can use him in any event, whether it's a SmackDown exclusive, Raw exclusive, or even Icons event. If you've got a John Cena, you can use John Cena. And on top of being usable in pretty much every event apart from class-specific ones, he's got good stats and quick strikes. So Cena is really an all-around win. He's a great superstar to have, very useful, and one of the most valuable superstars in the game in my opinion. And now on to the big number 1, and if you've watched my videos recently, you probably know who this is going to be. Number 1 is the new 4-star powerhouse Undertaker, aka Badass Undertaker, because like the others, he's got the quick strikes. But instead of just having good health and good power, he's got great health and great power. He is the superior Undertaker in the game, and not just that, but in my opinion, the best superstar in the game overall. He may have a little less health than Andre, a little less power as well, but he makes up for it in speed. And speaking of Andre, if I can make this a top 6 list or an honorable mention, I would go ahead and add Andre in here as number 6. He may have the slow strikes, but he actually makes up for it by his stats. he's actually got the max amount of health at 4,500 and the max amount of power 450. Now, those max amounts may change in the future when a new superstar comes in with higher stats, but at the moment, that is the top amount of power without any boost or anything, and also the top amount of health. So that's it for my list, man. Roman, Austin, Randy, Cena, and the American Badass Undertaker, with an honorable mention to Andre the Giant. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, click the like button down below, and like I said, man, in the comment section, let me know your top 5 list. I'm out, guys. See ya.